Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. Appreciate you being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, welcome. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. And to learn more about me, learn more about my company, check out those links below. And a couple things, before we get started, check out the link to our email newsletter. It's absolutely free, and this will give you the opportunity to receive additional information on how to grow and develop your business. And in addition to that, you can click the link below to our website, which is fmconsulting.net. We're currently have a free giveaway. It's free access to our gym management playbook course. That's a course that regularly sells for $4.99. You can gain full access to it now, absolutely free. So check out that link, and we hope to see y'all there soon. And with that said, let's get into our topic today, and it's how do you break a gym sales slump? How do you break a gym sales slump? And it's almost like there's two kinds of salespeople out there, right? Those that are in a slump and those that will be. And what we want to do is, if we get into that slump, and it happens, what are some strategies to get out of it, or even what are some strategies to make it seem like it never happened, and you keep rolling because you make the proper adjustments. So let's get into our list, and if you're in a slump right now, let's take a look at this, and maybe we can help you get out of it. If you're not in a slump, let's hope it stays that way, and maybe you can look at some of these things and make sure that we continue to do these things, because sometimes what happens, it's easy to get a little bit complacent. It's easy to, I call it success apathy. We kind of let success apathy set in. And what I mean by that is, just because we've had success in the past doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have success in the future. And it's always interesting, it's always fascinating, how we start to, we skip things and we kind of go a different direction a little bit. Not intentionally, it just kind of naturally happens. And I go back to when I first got started, in membership sales, and I learned how to do this, and I memorized that 3-ring binder that was about that thick, and I was doing well. And but I'd go back and review it on occasion, and every single time that I did, I found, hey, for some reason I quit doing this, or I quit doing this, and so it was always some good reminders. So if you're not in that slump right now, take a look at this. We keep reminding ourselves of it. Perhaps that can help keep you from being in that slump. So how do you break a gym sales slump? Number one, get in the right frame of mind. Get in the right frame of mind. And so here's how I want to suggest that you think about this. Okay, I mean, for example, if we hand you here's a stack of leads, and you look at them and go, well, those leads are no good. Guess what? They're not. Or you get handed a stack of leads, the same leads, and you go, hey, none of those folks are members. Hey, I'll call them. We want to get in that right frame of mind. It's either a problem or it's an opportunity. And I know certainly a lot of new folks, when they first get started in gyms, I mean, they're calling older leads, people that have been in, people that we've not had success with before. But the reality is on this, as far as getting in the right frame of mind, from where I sit, we have the greatest product in the world. There's not a single person on planet Earth that can't benefit from what we do. Okay, and you've got a bunch of folks here that aren't members, that at some point have inquired or have had some kind of a touch point with you. There's opportunities there. So look at this as opportunities. Don't look at them as problems. Let's get in that right frame of mind, because how we look at it is kind of everything. It's like if you want to change the things you look at, change the way you look at them. Okay, these things start to change for you. So there's so much of it is how we choose to think, and we want to breathe life into the positive. Number two, analyze your process. Analyze your process, and you can research the channel here on sales process and really telephone inquiry process and things of that nature. But we want to analyze our process, because if you're in a sales slump, it's not happening by accident. I mean, certainly one of the things we have to make sure we do is let's don't start blaming the customer. Oh, it's you. Okay, no, it's me. Everything's me. Okay, we always want to be accountable, because this is the one thing we have control over. And when it comes to, kind of analyzing the process, one of the stories that comes to mind is, we had a client club that I helped to oversee, and we had a person who worked the morning shift, and she was really, really good. She worked like 5 a.m. to 2, and she was so good, she'd carry the day for that place and did a marvelous job. And she'd been through, all the training, and she followed it well. And we had a situation where, her sales dropped, and she was so good, club depended upon her. It hurt, when she fell into a slump. And so I showed up one day and, to chat with her and want to talk about, hey, how can we get her back on track? And I said to her, hey, would you mind giving me your price presentation? Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't say it's absolute, but many times it's in that price presentation that's where we slip up a little bit, okay? And certainly that's where I thought it was going to be for her. And so I said, would you mind giving me your price presentation? She said, no, I'll be happy to do it. And so she starts going through exactly how we had laid it out, what we want to do. And about halfway through it, she just stopped. She goes, I know exactly what I've been doing wrong. I'm good. I'm good to go. And I'd known her long enough that I didn't really question it. I simply said, okay, great. We'll look forward to seeing you back at the top of the list. Now, if it had been somebody else who I had not as known as well, I probably would have questioned a little more, but to her I didn't. And sales went back up, okay? So we analyzed the process. Let's make sure we're not skipping steps, okay? You want to stay true to the process. Because what I know to be true, from a standpoint of, hey, if we have that winning attitude and we follow that process, by and large, I've always been willing to, kind of accept what happens because I know it's going to be good because, again, we have that great product. Number 3, build a clear action plan. Build a clear action plan. And so if you're in sales or you're leading a sales team and you don't have a plan of action, get one. Again, you can search this channel on how to get a plan of action, how to write one, how to work them. But you want to get that plan of action. Not only establishing, hey, here's where I am right now. Here's what's going on right now. Okay, and here's my goals. Here's my tangible goals, number of sales that I want, amount of cash that I want, recurring fees that I want, leads that I want to collect, appointments that I want, whatever it is. Those are all the key things, right? Here's my tangible. And then intangible, maybe I want to work on, improving urgency, okay? Or maybe it's belief, or maybe it's enthusiasm, or whatever those intangibles might be. So I'm going to set those goals. And then I'm going to have a plan. Well, here's my plan. Here's how I'm going to do this. Here's how I'm going to create more urgency. Here's how I'm going to do this. And then roadblocks and setbacks. Success is never a straight line. It's, you're going all over the place. And then you go up. Okay? And so roadblocks and setbacks. So what are potential roadblocks and setbacks? And if and when that happens, how do you handle it? How do you mitigate that? Because we need to hit the numbers, right? And so we look at that. And then what's our scoreboard? How are we going to keep score here? One of the things I suggest you do is every day you look at your projections. If your personal goal is 50 sales, you're projecting 40. It's halfway through the month. Manage based on those objectives. What do you need to do right now or the next day or 2 or 3 to get those projections up to that 50? Don't make having success optional, but have this plan of action, and it should be a fresh, new plan of action every single month. And in some cases, if you're running the weekends, you might have a plan of action for the weekend, plan of actions for closeouts, but plan this out. It's hard to hit targets that you don't have. Number 4, learn the power of consistency. Learn the power of consistency. I would say this. As soon as you stop doing something, that's the one time I can guarantee results. 0. Okay? Power of consistency. Getting new leads every day, asking for referrals at the point of sale, getting floor referrals, having daily appointments, making a certain number of phone calls every day. The power of consistency. It's one of the secrets. It's one of the secrets in marketing when you get right down to it. Too many folks when it comes to marketing or prospecting, maybe you're doing corporate sales, you're working with local merchants or referral programs, you're prospecting, you don't get the results you want right out of the gate, and what do? We quit doing it. Okay? the power of consistency. All these things work. We just have to, in some cases, just stay after it. If they need adjusting, okay, fine. And again, research the channel. Numerous topics on how to make that work for you. Okay. Number 5, practice mindfulness before you make the phone call. Practice mindfulness. Here's what I mean. First off, making the phone call. You're not going to break sales records, and you're not going to be a great salesperson just by email and text. You have to talk to people. Okay? You have to make calls. And if we're doing it right, I know a lot of people say, well, no one answers. Well, they're not answering for a reason. Okay? And the reason they're not answering is because they think you're going to try to sell them something. And first of all, when I talk about mindfulness, the first way I would look at this, any call you're making, every single call or email or text, make sure we're adding value. We are adding value every single time. Okay? Make sure we're nurturing. We're working to maintain interest. We're working to maintain desire. We're working to solve problems. We're working to be a resource center for folks. Okay? If a person says, well, hey, I'm just not ready to buy right now. Mary, I understand. I wouldn't expect you to be ready to buy right now. And then pivot into something that can help them get the results they're looking for. They can do an exercise at home. You can coach them. Okay? You can inspire them. You can educate them. Okay? Let them off the hook. Mary, I wouldn't expect you to be ready to join right now. Too often we kind of push for it, and that's what they expect on every call. So practice mindfulness. Be agreeable. Be a resource center. Be a servant, if you will. Okay? We want to nurture our customers. We want to provide value at every step. Okay? And the final thing I'd mention on making the call and practicing mindfulness, one of the things I always like to do, ask permission. Mary, is this a good time for you? Mary, did I catch you at a good time? And I find that most people say yes. If they say no, it's not. Okay, I understand completely. Hey, can I call you back at 10:30? Would that work better for you? I'll just try to find another time. Okay? So practice mindfulness. Number 6, you want to shift your focus away from closing deals to helping people. We're trying to break a sales slump, and sometimes what happens, we get focused on closing the deal and not helping people. Okay, we want to shift our thinking. I'll give you an example on that. I'll use an example for myself. This is back when I was in membership sales and doing well at it. Okay, and I got too close to closing deals. I was closing deals. And I'll never forget, a guy came in and he seemed interested. Okay, and manager turned him over to me, and I took him through. I sat him down. I gave the presentation, and he says, "No, that's really not what I'm looking for. Do you have something cheaper?" And the rule that we had at that time is we couldn't show something cheaper unless we got the A-OK from the manager. Okay, and so I excused myself, went out to the manager, and I explained, yeah, he's really not interested. He's looking for something cheaper. And we had a rule back then on how we did things. When we'd take a person through the tour, we would design like a basic workout card for them and give them a basic idea of how this was going to work. And the manager said, well, Jim, did you design a workout card for him? I said, well, no, I didn't. He goes, go back in the office, design that workout card, and come out with a membership sale. Okay. And so I went back in, and I simply said, well, let me show you how this is going to work and how we can help get the results for you. What I should have done to begin with, right? And so I start going through what a basic workout is going to be like and how that's going to help him accomplish his goals and how that's going to help him get that powerful why, how we're going to help solve his problems for you. And so I went through it, and it was just a brief, card. And I said, so what do you think? Do you want to go ahead and get started? He goes, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. Okay. And so we want to shift. If we're in a slump, make sure, because sometimes we get what we think is that sales cap on, we're trying to close deals. What we're trying to do really is solve problems for folks, provide solutions. Okay, we want to help them get the results that they're looking for. Because at the end of the day, when value exceeds price, people are going to buy. When value exceeds price, people are going to buy. Okay. Number 7, surround yourself with people who motivate you. Surround yourself with people who motivate you. And this one's big, and it's a tough one sometimes. You want to stay away from the naysayers. I used to have people, I'll never forget when I was first building clubs, people I knew and trusted and believed in. Jim, when are you going to get a real job? Well, this one's pretty real. And so, surround yourself with people that are going to support what you're doing. Stay away from the naysayers. If you've got folks around you that don't think you can do it and they're kind of naysaying the deal, man, turn and run as fast as you can. You want to hang around people that are high achievers and are looking to do more. I mean, I would even recommend joining networking groups of entrepreneurs, business owners, high-achieving salespeople, folks that are always looking for that next way to do things. They're always looking for that edge. They're always looking for those solutions. They're not simply re-identifying, hey, what they think's wrong. But, hang around folks that motivate you. Hang around people that inspire you. Hang around people that believe in you. You start hanging around the naysayers, before you know it, you're going to be right there with them. Okay, so who we associate with, is really important, particularly if we're in a slump, because we might have a tendency to find people that are agreeing with us. Okay. Number 8, go back to what you do best. What do you do best in all of this? What do you do best in all of this? And again, for me, I use myself as an example. I can think of a time or two where, I'd hit some dips, and what I did best is I knew the members. I had a lot of trust with the members, a lot of rapport with the members, and basically it was easier, not easy necessarily, but easier for me than some others to get referrals because I knew them all so well, okay, and I could get referrals, okay, and so that's what I did best, and that's usually a pretty good lead, that's a friend brought a friend in, and usually it works out pretty well. So whatever it is you do best, go back to doing that. Make sure that's at the top of the list. Because one of the things it's interesting sometimes, and this is when I do meetings and when we go in on turnarounds and things like this, I'll always lead off the conversation with what's working well and what's not. What's working well and what's not. And there's a lot of reasons we do that, but one of the reasons we do it, if it's working well, we want to make sure we continue it. And so same thing in sales. This is working well, then unless we're writing that plan of action and asking those questions, you'd be surprised how often that, we leave it out and we quit doing it. So, go back to what you do best. Number 9, reach out to your favorite members. Okay, you're in a slump. Okay, reach out to your favorite members. You want to get positive feedback. Okay, one of the secrets from a managerial standpoint is we want to create an atmosphere that allows a motivated person to act. We want to create an atmosphere that allows a motivated person to act. And if I'm going through a tough go on sales, maybe the first calls I make that day, I'm going to call, my favorite members. I'm going to do a follow-up call. Nurture them, help maintain interest, help maintain desire, but I'm going to call folks that are going to be positive feedback, because I want to set the stage for me to have success, later that day. And then finally on my list on how to break a gym sales slump, recognize when it's time to ask for help. Recognize when it's time to ask for help. Now, the answer to that question, I think, probably should be right now. Okay, right now. Always ask for it. And whether we're struggling or not, I'd always be willing to ask for it. Okay, because you're trying to get better. What you're trying to do is shorten a learning curve and maximize your productivity. And I remember for me, I probably had not been there for 30 days, maybe close to it. And I was not very good. I was maybe terrible is what I was. And we had 4 clubs, and I was like dead last out of all 4 clubs every time that sales production sheet came out. And I was sitting at a table one time with, the old sales dogs of that place, who at the time, I looked up to and thought, hey, these guys are pretty good. In retrospect, maybe they weren't as tight on some things as I thought they were, but they were way ahead of me, that's for sure. And I simply said, hey, I'm tired of being dead last. How do I figure this out? And the guy says, well, Jim, are you serious? Is that really what you want to do? I said, well, yeah, I'm serious. And he had a manual. It was about, it was 1.5 inches thick. And he just kind of tosses at me across the table there. He goes, here, memorize that. You'll be fine. And that book, the lion's share of that was, process of how we greet the customer, take a phone inquiry, give a tour, ask for the sale, take them through a workout, all that. And I said, fine, I'll take it and memorize it. And I did. I took it and I memorized it. And within 30 days, I was the top salesperson in 4 clubs. Within 6 months, I was the manager of that club. Another 6 months, I was troubleshooting others. And then the next thing on the list, I was invited to become a partner in the company. All came from that moment. And so, but don't be afraid to ask for help. You can use this channel. This channel has nearly 1,200 how-to videos here at the moment on how you can improve and how you can get better. This can be a great resource for you on getting help. That have other folks out there that you can work with that will help you improve and help you get better. You want to find people that have been through it. You want to find people that have been through it, that maybe have struggled. I've always felt that's one of the advantages I have in sales training, is that I struggled so much. You know, a lot of folks that teach sales, they were maybe superstars right out of the gate, and they just kind of got it. That wasn't me. But because of that, when I'm talking to owners and managers and salespeople that are struggling, I've been there and I understand, but I also know the way out. And so you want to find people that, in a manner of speaking, kind of know that way out. So folks, my name's Jim Thomas. My company's Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today. And one of my focuses and one of my goals is, via this channel, we want to help as many people as we possibly can. We want to get the word out to as many people as we possibly can to help them grow and develop their business. And by subscribing, by hitting that like button, you help us do that. I appreciate that. And then to learn more about me, for those that may want some additional assistance from the consulting side of how to take your business to that next level, please check out some of the links below. And then as a reminder, we are doing the free giveaway at fmconsulting.net. You can check the link below, fmconsulting.net. We're offering free access to our gym management playbook course. And so you can access that right now. And folks, I appreciate you being here today, and we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.